their flank immediately.
It's going to be good. We are loading into the map. Again, this is the rubber match. This is a decider between these two squads. See Sentinels starting off on defense. Luminosity looking to see what they can find as they try to test their mettle on attack. A good bit of presence already down B long, but the spike is nowhere near that.
Quick little vision from the owl drone there. His B has been taken so far, but they're just seeing what reaction they can really get out of Sentinels right now. Spike's still just chilling for the time being, if you haven't recognized that on the mini-map for the viewers. And Sentinels is, I'm sorry, LG is really playing the feel-out game here and testing the waters for each site.
Yeah, and you think about the utility that's already been used,
What a play.
right? The wall goes up from Sage. They know that that's offline, and meanwhile, Dre has very quietly and sneakily made his way up towards A. He's going to drop that smoke across the middle of the map to, again, draw some more attention away from A, but that's exactly where they want to go. Zoms is going to be the first one there, trying to play contact, trying to keep Luminosity back.
I love the consideration. Just a small choice of utility usage on the way in.
Yeah.
We saw Proto run over that spike. It was picked up by Moose. He planted it, so they can now get his cooldowns up and running. Dapper goes down to a Proto as they're trying to get back into the site to make it happen here. Tens with a nice shot on the frenzy as Shazam also picks one up. They're running forward, but here's Steve picking the pockets left and right as he comes around from the flank. Beautifully done by LG to just read Sentinels on the retake. And it is going to be Sentinels coming up with that one, actually.
And they
Just
play
quick
that so
flap
well,
of the
right?
round
So
there, getting me.
Wait, like, so they get on the site, they get the spike down, and then Luminosity plays back, right? Like, they were playing to play it through chaos. Very similar to what we see on B, on Haven, where you're just spamming through smokes, through utility, what have you, to try to stop the defuse. They wisely just play aggressively. They go in to Luminosity. They get the big kills, and they're able to take that away. Meanwhile, the flank was playing out. It didn't have enough time. So well played by Sentinels to have the wherewithal, to know where to push, when to push to make it hurt.
Proto pushing in, gets taken down.
Your fault.
Or sorry, takes one down, I should say. Just checking the score, making sure I'm right on where they are, because I got mixed up last time. I don't want to have that happen for the viewers. Zoms takes 2. Always good for that, as we say. And now they're moving over. Shazam's 20 HP. Now, they've been working the defense to have 1-and-1 all the time. So you're going to have somebody the knowledge of Moose planning here. And I'm very surprised here by Sentinels coming in very strong on defense, able to stop them once, and LG is now forced to just scramble for these eco rounds. Boom. Yeah, not even going to go down.
That. Yep, I like that. I like how they play it. I also, you mentioned how they, in situations like this, we've seen Sentinels assume pretty similar positions. This time they kind of spread themselves out, right? Make sure no stone is left unturned. And as you saw, it was Dapper who was there waiting, able to take him out. But now we're going to see Luminosity from a position of strength where they're going to have rifles across the board.
Yeah.
And it's not, I mean, there's some bonus happening on the side of Sentinels, but it's not like they're walking in without rifles, Rev.
Shadows traveling.
Arden. Ooh, that's not what he wanted. Just getting the coattails of Shazam, and that's actually a huge drop there. That was supposed to be him alive for the next few seconds, gaining intel, giving it out, and making the first play to dash out. So now LG has a lot more that they can work with here. Nice job. The Sentinels pushing even more to get these trade kills out, but it's just the aim from LG able to come up strong. Is that kind of eco-buy bonus, I should say, not eco-buy coming through here for Sentinels. So good job by LG to pick this round up. Will allow them to face Sentinels Vandals next round. Plants going down. Stellars wants to fake that one for just a moment. And they're going to be setting up defense.
So you've got to be careful if you're Luminosity. Tens is 1 point away from his Empress, and he's one of the few that had a rifle going into this round. So this round is not won by any means for Luminosity. They're assuming post plants. Zoms has a little bit of utility. I don't think he's going to be able to upgrade his gun, but you've got to keep an eye on the flank from Moose. Yep, it wasn't Moose. It was actually Dre who took care of Tens. Drops things down to a 1v3. Zoms looking for the last one. Moose takes care of him. It looked dicey, but Luminosity was able to take the round away.
That's usually where we see Sentinels picking up, right? That third gun round, they come in strong. They are able to just start wiping rounds off the board of their opponents. So the good that we can see LG shutting down Sentinels here for a moment. How strong do they continue to play it, though? Your boy Dre stepping up on that Omen. We've seen him playing. The analyst has shouted it out. He's been playing well this series, and hopefully can carry that out through out the tournament for the team. Full util looks like on each side. Maybe not an owl drone there, but we're going to see that dart coming out quite quick here as Shazam gets the Blade Storm with an instant grab on that pipe orb today.
Oh, and he makes it pay off already. Goes up, takes care of Thief, gives him a couple blades to the face, sends him packing. Meanwhile, Luminosity understanding A is not safe. Looks like they actually want to make more of an intentional effort to go down B long.
Watching their back. We talked about having to watch their back quite a bit here without having that Sentinel flank. And it's really just a 2 and 2. 1 and 2 in the sight, 2 off. Nice trade across. We might see that spike coming back right now, but that also could be them working off the spike. Sentinel sees that. They feel like they're going to have to put all their pressure over towards A, and this one works out very nicely for LG.
Oh, that's info. Look at how they're pulling off. They know where that res is coming from, so they think, okay, the res is there, Sage is over there, that might be where the play is. Meanwhile, they leave one on B, they hear the spike go down, and now they're scattering to get back to where the play is. Luminosity play this so well, Sick has no idea. Sentinels gets caught. Shazam drops as well. Dapper looking to equalize things. He and Zombs left alone in this 2v3, much like we saw just a few moments ago. Post plans for Luminosity as the clock continues to tick away. Zombs on the tap, steps right off, and there's the Hunter's Fury that you'd expect, just trying to buy time, right? Stellar good for 1, Stellar good for 2, the round in favor of Luminosity, and what a beautiful round it was.
I love that ult at the end there. Knowing they're going to be coming from whatever angles you haven't checked yet, it scatters them a little bit and does not allow clean shots for Sentinels on the retake. Buckies and Sheriffs across the board. That Bucky goes over to a Spectre, actually, as Dapper is feeling a little bit more range is going to be in his favor. 2-2, though. We said this was going to be quite an interesting map, and it is now going round for round. Captain Shazam up on top there, fragging out pretty well to start with Stellar, the Battle Sage, 5-1-0. Bringing up the bootstraps there for Luminosity. We'll start off on to round 5 here. A little bit of love towards mid. Actually, a lot of love towards mid. Is Six going to be able to see just one, though? I wonder how much he decides to stay and trade through the smoke.
Yeah, no real idea. Dapper can really blow this thing up, though. He just goes down long enough to get the ult orb, and now he has an option on whether or not he wants to go in. Luminosity sticking it to him as they shove it down their throats. Proto gets on to Shazam. The wall's going to go up.
Baby.
Oh, but Sick with the Bucky. Holy cow. Psalms is good for 1 as well. It's just Dapper that's left alone against Moose in a 1v1. He's got some utility, and he's got a rifle as well. Dapper not nearly as fortunate. And the biggest problem here, Riv, is that the spike is not in the hands of Moose.
Standing ahead.
He can do it. Oh, the look away.
I have the spike.
The hesitation on that position for just a moment. And it's going to be 100 to 18 HP here. He does have 2 shock darts. Just chuck them in the air.
Yeah.
Play the floater darts.
Yep.
300 for the plant.
Charges.
30 seconds left.
He's trying to throw a dart out there for a quick second, but doesn't have it for another 10 seconds. And he plays the kitchen. How is Dapper going to realize this? Does he actually go for the high ground right away and put himself up on snow pile there? What a play by Moose. The ring around the rosy, but he may not expect it. It's Dapper already crossed into the site.
And I don't know that, Riv, I don't know that he has... I think he's going to have to reposition from there to
It
use
creates a
utility
really
to make
poor
something
angle when
happen.
he starts defusing, you're right.
Yeah. So Moose here is going to have to... All right, there's the tap. He's letting it get to half... Oh, no. Yeah, I don't know that he can do it from there. Dapper, like a thief in the night, takes the round away. A thrifty one at that. Sentinels come up big.
A situation I don't believe Moose has put himself in before, understanding that he would be around the back, considering it, but the fact that you can defuse the spike from about 360 and a foot away means that wasn't Dapper sitting in the open.
Oh, man.
That's unfortunate, Doug.
Oh, it's So unfortunate, and it all really goes down there. We were, kind of watching it play out and wonder, how's Moose going to play this? Is he going to try to do some lineups with the shock darts?
But it looks so good.
It did. All right, now let's see what they have. Given how that went a bit sideways, you see a whole lot of ultimates on the side of Sentinels, and Dapper's just 1 point away from his. Have an operator in hand as well, and well, why operator? Why ultimate when you've got 10?
Ooh, is that a leg? She didn't come up there. They were able to finally take down Thief. 10's coming up with 2 big ones. The Reyna. He's feeling pretty good on it before he goes down in this round. Round 6. 2 of LG now pushing in as far as they can. Moose and Dre open. Dre's had quite the series, but this is going to be a tough call. Nice start out. Stick gets a little bit of high coming in. Your boy Dre's going to know that's happening, but 1-2 real quick solidifies this round in favor of Sentinels. They're stringing out Luminosity within these gun rounds now. Being able to pick off a few with the op it's not allowing Luminosity their full power. They're very good when they can trade off each other, and they haven't lost too much before getting into the site. And Shazam has found a way through the defense, I should say offense, that Luminosity is bringing to the table here with the operator.
And that's a different look for TenZ. The narrative is, he's going to be unleashed. What's he going to do? Is he just going to play totally loose and make crazy things happen? That felt like the first time we really saw him do that, where he's like, guys, I'm going to go, right? Like, I'm just going to go and see what happens, and he comes up big there for Sentinels. Now here, Sentinels, no heavy aggression, no full send, as Luminosity shows a little bit of presence towards A. As we've seen a couple of times, they like to get up towards the bracket on A and then make decisions from there. But you see the one difference from what we've seen in the past, Red, is Luminosity as Sentinels. Look at how much space they're taking. They have the middle of the map. They take and belong a Proto. A Proto was big there for one, but Dapper trades it out.
Takes the armor off as well of Dapper. There's going to be a res there. And quickly farming that orb to make sure they can get right back to a res situation as well. Thief's just hanging out. I'm sorry, Six just hanging out. He has ultimate back there. He's going to start using it. One tag. That's going to be a double. Takes down the spike. The third one's going to go wide, but he's just trying to get it out so he can get back into the action. Zoms drops Thief. And with LG not having site control yet, they're still looking to push forward a little too early without intel on Sentinels. It's costing them big time. Sentinels comes flying in Spidey style there. TenZ picks another one up as Sick drops the final kill. And Sentinels, with their retake power, find another round here on Icebox.
They do, and at that point, in a 5v2, knowing the spike just went down, you want to go fast, right? Like, don't let them get into post plants. Take any chance of some sort of shenanigans happening away. Yeah. But then I also think that Sick really there with that Hunter's Fury, it wasn't just the kill. Yeah, the kill was huge. But it does 2 additional things that I think can go unnoticed. Is it buys them time, and it disrupts the area of the map, right? Like, they can't play with the same coordination that they would have otherwise, and that really kind of blows everything up.
How do they play it now? Things are getting a little spicy for Luminosity. They are on the defensive side here. It always feels a little bit stronger. Or, sorry, offensive side here. It always feels a little bit better when you can secure yourself on D and pick up a few rounds, making the opponents choose what they want to do. Here, oh, gets him with the dart out. TenZ, that timing as they walk into B. Ults, a lot of ults on the side of Sentinels right now to be used, but they're not even going to try to do that. A flawless round coming in, Doug. It's happening quick. They hesitate and then they don't. It's over before you know it.
Yeah, and I think for this point, knowing that they were on pistols and knowing that they can often make something beautiful out of a really crappy situation when it comes to pistols, that time, nothing doing. But now we're going to see Luminosity here. For this half, right, we're starting to have this conversation where the windows for Luminosity to make this half competitive are they're starting to reduce considerably, right? Like, you're not going to get very many more chances to start a snowball as far as economy goes. Rattle off a couple of rounds, get this to a competitive situation. You really kind of have to do it now.
Well, attack pause is a bit of that discussion, right? How will they be able to get themselves back into this? It's not going to be making snowmans. Maybe it'll be calling some info in from the Pangies. Who knows? But yeah, look at how many ults they have. There's definitely a possibility to pick it up, make it 4 rounds. They're going against Empress for 10s here, and Zom's going to be able to grab information if he gets himself across the map. So much in credits in the favor of Sentinels right now. If they were even to drop a few rounds, they're still very much in it. We're going to get the instant ult here, and he does find one dry. Is it going to be enough? Just to the left. And they are going to try to work off of this. Easy heal. They know who they hit on that one. So all they have to work here is just a bit of utility down. Your boy Dre doing that push towards mid. Usually where Thief would be. They're leaving it up to him as Dre is feeling great right now. And he's going to make his way into kitchen. How big does this play become if he can make the move before the team really activates on the entry? It's going to be one, but he's not able to get it as Tens turns around at the perfect time. You got to be kidding me.
Oh man, and the ultimates that Luminosity had, the tools at their disposal to make something happen here are gone.
What?
And with them is the rest of the round. A flawless one from Sentinels. We talked about how the windows are closing to make this competitive. They slam that sucker shut in their faces.
That's a big deja vu for me. We saw Sentinels at the last map stringing flawless rounds together as soon as they got it going. And that can really be demoralizing for the opponent. You're reconsidering everything. You need more than one person on the site takes. It's not to say that confidence is broken for LG at all, but it does become a little bit more difficult when Sentinels is putting up rounds this fast, Doug.
Revealing area.
Cheeky little dart there that gave away the aggression from Sentinels a couple of rounds ago, but you've seen really since then, Shazam's not up to any of that. This time it was actually Tens, a bit of a different flavor, but the outcome was the same as Luminosity takes care of it. You see a Proto using Showstopper, trying to get deep into the belly of the beast, but Shazam with the op takes care of him. Zoms does as well. As things drop to a 3v3, there's the res from Stellar, bringing the Proto back. Moose with 3 on the round, the op in hand as well. Dapper is left alone. Now, he does have the res, but you wonder at this point, Riv, like, do you even go for it? Is it even worthwhile?
No, I mean, if it was down to, like, almost overtime...
No!
What?
No! Dapper good for 2!
He almost actually gets it. Moose picks up the 4K, but that is a little too lax on knowing you did the round. I was about to really, really praise LG for their regression, and then they're like, oh, we got this. Everybody take a break. Just call what you're guarding, and nobody realizes no one set upper, right? So that can't be happening. They do come up with the round. They lose a few weapons, but they are able to stave off having econ problems because that would have sunk them right into bankruptcy. Yep. They would have had to declare it and go for the eco. What a round there. But I want to see the aggression again. They were right into this site. Just not that ending that happened for LG.
And for Sentinels, even with that loss, they've got bankroll for days, bro. Like, they're absolutely fine. So for Luminosity,
absolutely.
That one felt good. Well, I mean, it almost didn't. But you need more, right? Not just to get a competitive half, but to really break Sentinels' finances to even try to have that conversation. But again, Tens has been so devastating on A that, I mean, how do you do it?
We saw a bit of that at Ascent on Cat, how they didn't want to go towards him on those rounds. He had 2Ks. I mean, you just walk away from that confident aim, right? Dapper, nicely done. Wow. Battle Sage from B. And he's going to try to give a little bit more pressure here to everybody coming in through mid, as that's the retake they like to play. They'll let mid open. They feel like these long ranges favor them. Up and down. Who's going to get the shot first? And that's Dapper finally going down with Tens picking up the frag. And it all seems a bit just too back and forth with gunfire. Not enough utility being used here as they get in with LG trying to make fakes on the sites. They are trying to play within the window, but after this, what happens here, they lose Thief. They'll run through what B here. It just seems like they're all in the open, Doug.
Well, and I think the problem was they got info, Sick did, when they saw going under tube, when they saw Luminosity going under tube.
Right.
And then they went in aggressively, and look at the position of that wall. Look at how far up it is. It's forcing them around yellow. Luminosity, kills traded back and forth. But map-wise, that round was won for Sentinels well before it was actually over.
Whoop. Dapper squeaks out of that one, just losing a bit of his armor. They're already in the site, though, and this is a full committal. Everybody's going to be in. One person that's going to be on the flank. That's Moose. He is ready, and there the plant starts to go down. It's going to be the Empress that comes up for 10. He gets slight overheal on, 130 for him as he stays in the site to try and do more damage.
Shazam with the op looking for him, gives him a haircut, but no damage was dealt as the spike continues to tick away. You see Sick is just kind of playing around the flank, making sure there's nobody coming around. The Lear comes through, 10's once again good for another one as the Empress continues to cause problems. That's 3 on the round. He's going to drop at the hands of Thief, and now it's on Shazam with that op to try to make something happen. 10's comes back. Dapper and Zombs drop. Stellar goes huge. Stellar goes huge, but Sick's keeping it at bay himself, but now Stellar's left alone. He doesn't have much as far as gun goes, but it's enough to stop
wait a minute, wait a minute.
Stellar good for 3. He's got to swing around. Sick gets the kill, but I don't know that it's going to matter.
They got that defuse at the last moment. It looked like he hopped off it. He almost went down to the classic cheese, and it's not the case. 9-3. Everybody just causing chaos. We saw the res there at the end of the first half just to get it back in, causing a little bit more chaos for Thief. What a round back and forth to B. That's actually why I love B so much, is because once the utility is out, it just becomes a complete fire fest of everybody trying to get around yellow, back to the B entry, back to see who's in mid on where a spike can be planted. And it is such a chaotic fest to have. I love it. I love it. We're going into our second half here. Sentinels look like they could solidify this quite quick, Doug, if they grab that pistol round.
We're going to try to do so across A, using the drone as the entry. Well, and then shortly behind that is 10's. He's got the frenzy, and he's got a kill. Man, all up in Moose's face, and he's getting a jumping one as well on the Thief. I said this the first time I called 10's. This is his world, and we're just living in it. He's got 4. He's going hunting for the ace. Let him off the leash. He's digging it.
20 seconds into the round. He is in spawn. He is in the defender spawn area. That was 120. 10's had a 3K already on the board. And then he kept going for more. Absolutely disgusting. And that's setting a pace. It's pistol round. All right, it's a breather. It's the second half. They might break. No, there's one. Keeps running through. And to get that much room without finding any resistance, you're giving 10's everything.
And like, you know, it really is filthy. A raid on a pistol is already so problematic, right? But then it's 10's, bro, and that just changes everything. 2 points away from the Empress, has a Vandal in hand already. Things not looking good for Luminosity, and honestly, it just seems to be getting worse.
We knew this was going to be a tough game, but it also, for Luminosity Gaming, but it also spells a lot for the squad of Sentinels here as they go to take B site once again, finding somebody in kitchen. That's going to be Thief. Can he answer back as he gets himself in there? Goes down to 10's. Spike's planted. That's going to be another one. But it does speak to Sentinels before they, again, rush right through this like a freight train, that they've got a new player. Yeah, that player tops the list for many, many things in the games he plays, coming in professionally and being able to just put up numbers, say like 24 and 10, again, on a new team. But not letting that affect them at all, understanding how to play around that and not saying, hey, change X and do this. No, it's 10's is on, this is how we play. 10's can do what he wants. It's not free reign, but you don't reign something like that in. And Sentinels has been able to organize that and orchestrate it perfectly.
It's like asking Curry not to shoot, right? Like, let the man do his thing. And again, a beautiful round there. All right, but now for Luminosity, we talk about windows closing. I mean, it's do or die, basically, here for Luminosity. They have rifles. They're rotating over to A. And much like I said earlier in the series, where this is where Luminosity shined, was in retakes because of things like that. A Proto's already good for 2. Shazam trades it out, and you see Sentinels, they're playing back off site. Sick has to stay alive here. And you see him understanding that, playing notably further back. Shazam is there as well, just 2 members left on the side of Sentinels. Uh-oh.
Tappy's on the bomb. Spike could get the fuse here. He's going to hold it. They're going to get it. Oh, no, my God. It was just before it got the fuse. You have to be absolutely kidding me. They're going to be able to pick this round up.
Wow. No way.
You're kidding,
How?
Doug. You are kidding me. Maybe 0.3, 0.4. That was right there. I didn't think they were going to be able to get around the wall. Perseverance pays off for Sentinels. They push Luminosity back against the ropes that much more now. It's match point here on Icebox, map 3.
And for Luminosity, a Spectre, two Bulldogs, light armor in the hands of a Proto and Stellar.
Wow.
They're going to limp their way into this final round. And while that's a good start, again, oh my gosh, the adversity that they're facing here, the monumental mountain that they have to climb, might prove to be too much. And look, even if they get this round, Riv, you have to play perfect Valorant the rest of the way just to get to overtime.
Oh, that's good damage. 5 HP for Zoms. It's going to be tough. Spike is still all the way at the back. They haven't really committed just yet. Sentinel's trying to figure out if they can get a few frags here and there and make it work. And this is the round that semi starts to work in favor of LG. We see a lot of their success coming once they have a direction. Once that spike is planted or they're pinching, and they have an idea of where the members are. Their 1v1s aren't going in their favor, found in the middle of the map, and it seems to be where their playstyle falls apart just a little bit here, directed towards A. Not too much roaming on this one. They clean up Sentinels for another round, keeping themselves alive, but the Sentinels easily going to the bank here. I'm probably sure they don't even have to hit the ATM because they're so loaded.
Right. And you see a couple of those ultimates that they've already been able to gather, right? Because of how dominant they've been at the beginning of this half. You even saw the Hunter's Fury come online right at the end there for Sick. So there's a lot in favor of Sentinels. And Luminosity, Luminosity's staring up a real big hole that they have to try to dig themselves out of. You hear the Blade Storm used from Shazam right off the bat as he plays back in spawn, see if there's any flank coming through, and then Zom's already getting onto a Proto. Not looking good for LG.
Oh, pretty close. Proto not feeling it this round right off the bat. We're only 30 seconds in. And LG, they're going to have to put up some strong defense over here at the A spike site.
Tens gets all the way
in. That's the thing. He's taking so much ground. When he does, he'll find 1 to 2. Boy, Dre coming up huge there with a few as Sick transfers back onto that. They get Shazam back into the game now, and it is still match point here. Series point for Sentinels as the spike goes down on A site.
From both, the 3v3 Thief, good for the first one with the Bulldog as he takes care of Dapper. But again, great position from Sentinels in their post plants where they can just do so from safety, much like we saw last time. Thief good for 1, but Sick once again left alone in a 1v2. Shock darts there, no way. Sick gets it. Down to a 1v1. Stellar's trying to stick it. I don't know that he even got it to half, but Stellar takes care of him. We're gonna live to fight another day.
Let's go, Doug. Let's go. Another round coming in. The pressure is on. The speculation, but the only thing that happens here is Sentinels gets comfortable. Oh, we need 1. It's 7 away. We're fine. And a game does feel decently comfortable when you're this deep into it. I remember talking at First Strike to Shazam. I'm like, they were coming up 7, 8 rounds, and he's like, they were always under 10. We never felt pressured. And so you know what they're thinking right now. And Sentinels, they're like, all right, 1 more, let's get it. But hopefully that doesn't plague them.
Well, and now look at the financial implications now, right? Moose has a Stinger, or excuse me, a Spectre, but Sentinels don't have rifles. I think Tens has a Bucky, but other than that, they're certainly not packing the same kind of heat that they would want to be bringing in otherwise.
Diving over, double pipes. There's your duelist going in on the left side, trying to stick together. Moose gets 10s. He forgot to check that right side, thinking he was going to find someone in front of him like last time. LG coming up big with a few frags, and that's going to be the round. Lickety split for LG. 6 to 12 here. This should be the purchase now for Sentinels. So we may see a slow round here, but a possible victory for them. Shazam gets that operator. It's how they've been getting their wins before. You pick apart LG ever so slowly, and then you win in the sight.
Right, and then if that doesn't work, you just send Reyna just to freaking run at him, right? And like,
give Tens a
click
jetpack
heads.
and he's on the other side instantly.
Right, exactly. Like, just that's the strat. Go Tens go, and everything works out. But as we've seen, the last couple of rounds have not been that way. And again, for Luminosity, if it has to be perfect Valorant, you can't afford a single mistake. For them to have gotten as far as they have already is impressive, but this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. A Proto trading out Tens. The spike, fortunately for LG, nowhere really near a position of power, and a Proto's in a great spot here, at least to get a kill. No, he's not even good for one. He has to back up, and now they know where he is. They're going to challenge him. A Proto drops. Sentinels, excuse me, Luminosity just down to 2. Thief uses that Empress. He's alone, and they have to split the resources. They can't afford to give up a site alone.
4 is a crowd for Sentinels here. They're keeping everybody together. And you can always see them checking their 6. It's just one thing you have to do when you have compositions like this with no traps or KJ turret. 45 seconds here on the round. And like I said, a little bit slower here. Yeah, a few frags already, but the committal's going to take some time. A quick spam down to the wall. They know that person is reloading. They don't know it's Stellar just yet. Thief's on the way over. And they're going to have some damn good teamwork here to make sure they keep themselves in the game. Sentinels pressuring match point.
Yeah, and then look at Zombs, right? Like, even if things go sideways and they somehow are able to get it, it doesn't matter, folks. The narrative is done. Sentinels on the rematch, on the map that Luminosity's gotten on them before, show that the new roster is not the difference maker. They best Luminosity 2-1.
A lot of strength there shown from both teams. I think Luminosity wowed a few as well coming in to the tournament, and Sentinels expected to kind of crush through. Did start to find Sentinels form in the end, so I think they're very happy with how that played out. One thing I was mentioning, though, with how LG was playing there, Doug, and how the rounds were working, they excel so much on those retakes, on those impact frags where you see a Proto or Thief picking up 2, right? Yep. But then those plays almost seem like a necessity because the mid-round game isn't finding those successful trades that give them the advantage. So the 2 frags they are getting to wow us in sight are to recoup what was happening, are to gain a bit more ground. Once they're the ones doing that first and being the first to the play, more info, LG is going to be a hell of a team to be reckoned with.